Hey curls, it's Lauren here with another episode of the Simply Curly channel. Today is just going to be a super long talk about your hair. What kind of hair type you have, what kind of products should you use, things like that. Mostly about porosity. I get a lot of questions about, from my friends talking about asking me, what is porosity? You mentioned that a lot. What does that mean? Well, today, you gonna learn today. So before we get into the video, don't forget to subscribe to the Simply Curly channel, like this video if you found it helpful, and comment below. Let's start a little chatter. What did you like? What did you find helpful from this video? Let's get into it, girls. Okay, so grab your food, grab your drink, grab your water. I have mine. Because it's gonna be a lesson today, y'all. I took some time to really gather my thoughts. I honestly made like a presentation for myself to help focus my thoughts for you all because I wanted to give you guys some good content. I've learned a lot over the years in regards to how to care for my hair. A lot of trials and tribulations with my hair, a lot of things that worked, things that didn't work. So I'm just going to share my knowledge. But before I get into it, I am not a trained hairstylist, cosmetologist, so definitely don't take all of my word for these things because I didn't study in school for this, but this is based on my knowledge of what I know, what I've learned from people that are more experienced than me with my own hair, just things that I've learned along my journey. So I wanted to preface that I am not a licensed cosmetologist, but let's get into it. I got my notes, so don't judge me, all right? So the premise of this topic is what products to buy for your hair. How do we know that? There's three ways or three topics that you need to understand about your hair specifically before you can understand what kind of products to buy for your hair. So those three factors to keep in mind are hair strand width, density type, and hair porosity. We're going to get into these three here in a second, but those are the three things you need to keep in mind in regards to knowing how to treat your hair, knowing what products work the best. You can get the best results based on what the directions actually say on a specific product. And notice that I left out hair typing on purpose because I personally don't believe that hair typing works. I don't know if you guys have seen a hair type chart where it goes from, I believe, level 1 all the way to 4C hair. Basically, you guys, that just gives you your hair pattern. It has nothing to do with anything really. To be honest, a lot of times people are like, oh, you have 4B hair, I got 4B hair, ooh, let me use your products. It doesn't work like that, sis. It don't work like that. There's a lot of other factors, like I said, the other three factors that matter. Just because you might be 4B hair and I have mostly 4B hair doesn't mean our hair care regimens would work the same for each other, okay? So I'm going to be explaining why that is. So remember the three factors: hair strand width, density type, and hair porosity. So strand width. So basically there's a test for all of these, but the test is you can basically sort of take the hair from your brush and hold it up in the light. If you feel like your hair is more wide and easily visible, okay, bam, it's dark, or you can see that hair, then it's coarse hair. If it's barely visible, if it's a really thin piece of hair, then you have fine hair. And then if it's in between, like it's not super coarse or super fine, then it's just medium strand width. And so for the coarse strands, you have more resistance to damage. That's like your hair strand is more wide, so it's more strong. Okay. Medium, it's in between. It's neither thick nor thin, and it's somewhat resistant to damage. Fine strands, they're very easy to damage, difficult to retain length, important to deep condition that kind of hair. So if you have fine hair, like for me, I do have fine portions of my hair. I have fine hair um, around my ears. Y'all, it's weird. Around my ears, the nape of my neck, like this whole back section, which, sorry y'all in advance, I need to wash my hair. This is the last day I'm actually washing my hair tonight, so this twist out is trash, in my opinion. Not the best. But the back of my hair is fine. And I have some parts throughout my hair that are fine. Those like fine strands of hair are fragile, you guys. So you definitely want to take care of those pieces of your hair if you do have fine strands. So like deep conditioning is important, and things like that. And not to say that if you have coarse or medium strands that deep conditioning is not important, but you have less worry about your hair breaking, if that makes sense. So that's an important thing to keep in mind. So next would be the second factor is density type. Knowing the density of your hair helps you understand if your hair needs product to make it more voluminous or not. Obviously, you can notice the trend. There's levels to this. So you can have high density, medium density, or low density. High density, you can choose heavy products such as gels, creams, and butters to hold your curls together and reduce volume. Layered hairstyles also work well with your hair with high density because it's already weighed down. So you don't have to worry about like your hair looking sparse because your hair is pretty dense. Medium density, you can use a variety of products. So you don't really have to worry about like weighing your hair down with products or putting too little products in there. You can even use mousse if you wanted to. Heavier creams are okay, butters, things like that. You can add a little bit of weight to your hair, but it's not as needed. With low density, use light products that won't weigh your hair down and reduce its volume. Use mousse to make it fuller. So, I mean, that's for super low density. Like, you can use a light gel. You can use like, I feel like you can use like flaxseed gel. If you can make it yourself, it's like actually really easy to make flaxseed gel and sort of like weigh your hair down with like a thin layer of gel. Honestly, I have medium to low density hair. My medium density is all at the crown of my head, and then the lower density hair is all at the perimeter of my scalp. You notice a trend here? I don't know why my hair follicles do that, but that's how it is. As my hair gets longer, my hair might change. This is the first time I'm truly noticing like the differences in my texture and everything like that, because for years my hair was super long, and so any spot that was like less dense was overcrowded by the length of the denser hair. So there's that. And the way to test your density type is it's really just to look at your scalp. So there's no real like black and white way to test it. You can look at a section of your hair and you can like, I would say like put a light on it just so you can clearly see your scalp, and like just look at how many hair follicles you have per like, little section of your hair. So if it's completely filled in, then you have high density. If you can see a little bit of your scalp, but you still have a lot of hair follicles, that's medium density. If you can see a lot of your scalp, you have low density hair, okay? And there's nothing wrong with any type of density, any type of hair strand width. It's just important for you to know so you know how to take care of your hair, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're getting to my favorite topic. Let me get some water. Woo! Your girl was thirsty, okay? Porosity. Everybody say porosity. It's so important. Like, when I learned about my hair porosity, I would say, okay, I went natural in 2010, or let's say I cut my hair pretty short in 2010 and I started growing my relaxer out. So I tracked 2010 as the beginning of my natural hair journey. Let's fast forward to 2014. That's when I learned about hair porosity. I started seeing a little bit about it on YouTube, and I started educating myself on like my hair, like the science behind hair, because it's all like everything's science. So if you understand like what your kind of hair needs, you're going to get products that help your hair flourish and encourage hair growth, because I wanted to make sure that I was promoting healthy hair growth. Not necessarily like trying to make my hair grow fast, just trying to make it grow healthy so I could avoid split ends or having to cut my hair as much as I possibly could. So I dabbled into porosity and I found so much, and I swear by this, you guys, like I totally notice now when I get the wrong products. Like, you know, sometimes it's hit or miss. Like you'll think that a product's okay, and then you realize you didn't look enough at the ingredients or what have you, and you realize, you know, you might have gotten something that's not good for your hair. So let's get into porosity. First off, if you guys don't know what hair porosity is, it's a term that's used to describe how well your hair is able to absorb and retain moisture and oils, okay? So it's about your hair's absorption ability. Just trying to explain it in a different way here. So when you're talking about porosity, it's important to understand the makeup of your hair strands. Your hair is basically a collection of dead cells that are arranged in a distinct 3-layer pattern. So I'm taking it to science class with y'all, or just the science behind your hair, the actual terms for everything. So the cuticle is the outermost layer of your hair. It comprises individual cuticles that overlap each other like the tiles on a roof, okay, if you can imagine that. The cortex is the middle and the thickest layer. It contains fibrous proteins and pigments that gives your hair color. The medulla is the central innermost layer of the hair shaft, okay? So that's just how you guys can understand how your hair is structured. So when I start to explain high porosity versus low porosity, I'll probably might use these terms to help explain it. Before we get into high, medium, low porosity, you can test your porosity. And my favorite test is the water test. Now, I'm not going to do that today for you guys. Comment below if you'd like me to show you guys how to do it, but it's really easy. I just felt like I didn't need to do that here. But I can definitely make a video for you guys to show you if you are needing that. Basically, you just get room temperature water. Just you can fill anything with water, cup or bowl, whatever. Usually I take fresh shed hair. So maybe I've just brushed my hair and there's some hair on my brush. You don't need like a whole bunch of strands. I usually just take literally 1 or 2 strands and you set it on top of the water. Now, if your hair immediately sinks to the bottom, like within the first few seconds, like it just starts sinking, you have high porosity hair. And then if your hair sits at the top for a little bit, let's say, you know, give it a couple seconds and then it starts sinking just a little bit and maybe it only gets as far as like the middle of the container you're using, you have normal medium porosity hair. Now, if your hair just lay on that sucker and it just sits there at the top and it doesn't move, it don't move even past 5 minutes, you have low porosity hair. okay? So intuitively, if you understand what I just said, it deals with absorption. Like if something sinks to the bottom, that means that that particle has absorbed water, so it's going to float down. And then if it's not absorbing anything, it's going to stay at the top. So that's how you test your porosity level. Personally, if you guys were curious, I have low porosity hair. So I have to pick products that help my hair absorb moisture, because it's hard for products to penetrate my hair. It's hard for my hair to be penetrated by moisture or oils. A lot of times that product sits on top. I'll explain that in a second, but that's me in a nutshell there. All right, so just wanted to make sure my battery was good. I had to check my phone. I'm so sorry if I'm in a different angle, but now I'm gonna explain the porosity levels for you guys. And you know, this is like, if y'all need to take notes, like I hope y'all are taking notes, you know, because this is really helpful. Like I definitely took my time writing this information out. I wanted to make sure you guys got good information. So definitely feel free to take notes. I forgot to mention that in the beginning. So high porosity. This is like my explanation of it. High porosity hair has gaps and holes in the cuticle, which lets too much moisture into your hair and leaves it prone to frizz and tangling in humid weather. Even simple acts such as bathing, swimming, and shampooing can create more damage and breakage due to the sheer amount of moisture highly porous hair can absorb. So basically, what this is saying is, again, if your hair sinks all the way to the bottom, and that means that your hair absorbs moisture quickly and fast. So your issue here is like the objective of keeping moisture, putting moisture in, not too much, but also how are you going to lock that moisture in without it absorbing and then going away? Like, because a lot of times high porosity hair tends to be dry because it absorbs it, and then it's like high porosity peeps have a hard time sealing that moisture in. So characteristics of high porosity hair: looks and feels dry, tends to be frizzy, tangles easily, prone to breakage, air dries very quickly, absorbs products quickly, which is nice, but again, retention is the problem. Rarely looks shiny because of the dryness. So I actually came up with a list for anybody that is high porosity of like what kind of products work best for your hair. Like just an example for each like main product that you'd use. So shampoo, it's important to find a shampoo that cleanses without drying you out. So look into Diva Curl's No Poo Decadence Milk Cleanser. That's pretty good for high porosity hair, so check that out. Conditioners that contain butters and oils may help seal the gaps in the cuticle and provide a protective layer. So an example of something like that would be Shea Moisture's Manuka Honey and Mafura Oil Intensive Hydration Hair Conditioner. So check that out. Deep conditioning treatments are especially helpful for adding moisture, nourishment, and softness to high porous hair. Try to use a deep conditioner at least once or twice a week. And protein from a high porosity people is awesome. Okay, just throwing that in there. So if you see any deep conditioners that say protein, now sometimes people can be protein sensitive, so take that lightly. But you can do protein in your deep conditioners. Versus low porosity people, we want to shy away from protein and intensive protein treatments. An example of a deep conditioner that my high porosity people can use is Shea Moisture High Porosity Moisture Correct Mask. So go check that out too. For styling products, highly porous hair is often damaged from heat or styling treatments. So you may want to consider using products that can protect your hair from further damage. You can use heavier creams such as melanin elongating twisting cream. And Definitely check out my review on melanin hair care that I did so you guys can get to know that product a little bit better. Alrighty, so oils, I really went in for y'all because I put a list of oils too, and I'll put my findings and like the products that I would suggest for each type of hair in the description box below if you guys have not seen that yet already. Oils provide a concentrated dose of moisturizing properties and seals the cuticle to help keep moisture in. So remember, for high porosity, you guys absorb moisture super fast, but because of that, it dissipates and your hair dries pretty quickly. So the objective is, yes, add the moisture, but how do you seal? These are some helpful oils that help seal pretty strongly for high porosity hair. That's coconut oil, olive oil, castor oil, and hemp seed oil would be my top 4 suggestions for you. For coconut oil, it's a deeply nourishing oil bursting with vitamin E, which provides intense moisture to the hair. Olive oil nourishes the scalp by helping with dry scalp, dandruff, and dry strands all at once. Castor oil, healing and fortifying, not only great for sealing the strands, but it is an antifungal, which if you didn't know that, now you know. It's antifungal and antibacterial for the scalp. So again, promoting hair growth, pretty cool. And lastly, hemp seed oil. High fatty acid content that makes it great for high porosity hair. It adds sheen, elasticity, and moisture retention. Ding, 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 ding. You know what? If you weren't sure of what oils you should get for your hair, you're like, oh, I like whatever oils. Sis, follow the rules with your porosity to determine what oils you should buy and use. Okay, so next, low porosity. This is me, so comment below if you are also low porosity gang. You know it's a struggle, but it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. I'm here for you. I can start a support group for low porosity hair for sure. Oh my gosh. Any products that you guys that are low porosity that you find that is so awesome, please comment this below because I'm a product junkie, okay? So, I will definitely probably try everything that somebody asks or comments below. So let's get into this. So if you have low porosity hair, it means that the structure of your hair doesn't really allow or easily allow moisture to be absorbed into your hair shaft. This can make it harder for water to saturate your hair when it's washed. More technically, going back to the terms that I gave you guys before, the cuticles tend to overlap each other and are tightly packed together. So remember how I said the cuticles, like they're layered like a rooftop. So for high porosity, the cuticles are open like this. And so obviously the moisture can get in super fast, but it's still open so it can leave really fast. So that's why you put the oils or the creams to seal those cuticles closed to seal the moisture in there. Now for low porosity hair, we already coming like this, y'all. We coming like this, like close, like ain't nothing coming in here. So you gotta do stuff to open the cuticle up, have that moisture get in there, but also still seal it a little bit to keep the moisture in. So that's the concept there. I know there's a lot of different type of learners, so hopefully that visual helped you there if you weren't following verbally. Back to what I was saying, more technically, the cuticles tend to overlap each other and are tightly packed together because there are no spaces between the cuticles. It makes it harder for the water as well as products like oils and conditioners to deliver moisture to your hair shaft. Basically what I just said with that visual. Characteristics of low porosity hairs, the products just sit on your hair. Washing and drying takes longer. So products to use with low porosity hair. So for the shampoos, find shampoos with honey or glycerin. These ingredients can penetrate the hair cuticle more easily than products that contain oil, okay? So low porosity people, look for honey or glycerin in the ingredients. If they don't have that in your shampoo, it's probably not going to be the greatest. I don't know why I'm so weird, y'all. Like, so conditioner, finding a thinner conditioner, or you can dilute your conditioner with water to make it easier for your hair to absorb. Example of this, Diva Curl One Condition Original. Diva Curl has really good products for people with low porosity hair, by the way. And I forgot to go back, give you guys an example for a shampoo, Kinky Curly shampoo. Kinky Curly is good also, like for most people, but definitely for low porosity. So definitely look into their products. For deep conditioners for low porosity hair, it is best to do a weekly deep conditioner and sitting with a shower cap or under a hooded dryer. That's a must. Like, you can't just be putting on no deep conditioner without nothing on your head. You need to be able to put something on your hair where it traps the heat that comes from your scalp, because it promotes, like, the heat actually makes your cuticles come up. Like, so remember, your hair is always like this. That heat opens your cuticles, so you know your deep conditioner will do more of what it's supposed to do. So if you have low porosity hair and you did not put no cap on, put no hooded dryer over your head, you will put deep conditioner with your cuticles like this. And it will do something, but it won't do what it's supposed to do. So keep that in mind. Like low porosity, you have no option. You need to put a cap on or be under a hooded dryer. Stay away from protein treatments. This can cause hair breakage. Oh, that wasn't good. Let me do that again. Oh, I need to work on that. Anyways, yeah, your hair's gonna break off. Don't do it. Don't do it. Like, I had a mistake where I was just like going through like a new job and just like not taking care of my hair, which is like that was like the past like 2 years where like I was just not taking care of my hair. And that's why we got this short haircut where I was just like, let's start over, because I just got lazy and was not paying attention to the products I was using. And I was using the Shea Moisture product that was like for color treated hair, and it had protein in it. And I used the whole line, like shampoo, conditioner, deep conditioner. Yo, my hair was so hard. When I tell you my hair was so hard, it wasn't even the same. So like, definitely pay attention. Protein is not for everybody, okay? And I'm sure there's a sciencey explanation for it, but just, you know, if you want to know some more information, definitely do your research before you use protein treatments if you have low porosity hair. So an example of a deep conditioner you can use is Jessie Curl's Deep Conditioning Treatment. They have a citrus lavender version of that. Jessie Curl is pretty good. They have a lot of good products also for low porosity hair. So styling products, I find it helpful to utilize a leave-in and a light styling cream. If the styling cream has a little bit of a gel consistency, that's even better. An example would be Eden Body Works Curl Defining Cream. Just an example of a product. But just as like I've grown in my hair journey, I found that like, and maybe just again because my hair is short, but like I have to use a leave-in conditioner. That's my moisturizer. So you want to make sure you have a leave-in, a light styling cream, or a light like curl gel, styling gel. You know, a lot of Shea Moisture. A lot of brands have those like curly souffles where they're like more gel consistencies of those. You can use oils if you want, but those are your main products that you're going to want to use. So lastly, the oils for low porosity hair. For me, I personally don't use oils that much. Like, I use oils in my deep conditioners, but like lately I found that oils, I don't know, maybe I just haven't found the secret sauce. Like, oils still, regardless of what oils I use, I still feel like they're not getting penetrated into my hair. I feel like it's still sitting on top of my hair. But the best oils that you can use are light oils for low porosity hair. The top 4 that I would suggest: grapeseed oil, jojoba oil, argan oil, and almond oil. Those are the best for you. So grapeseed oil is one of the lightest oils that is a strengthener and a heat protectant. Jojoba oil closely matches the oils that are naturally produced by the scalp, plus aids in the dandruffed or dry scalp. So that's good to know, right? Argan oil is a light moisturizing oil that provides shine, And almond oil is a light oil that improves scalp circulation and increases shine of the hair shaft. Scalp circulation means promotion of hair growth, by the way. So any of these 4 oils definitely you can utilize to help in sealing your hair after you've had your cuticles open to insert moisture. You want to reseal your hair after that, so you can use one of these 4 oils. Woo, y'all, I know I'm talking a lot, but I mean, how are y'all feeling? Like, I feel like I'm giving y'all gems that y'all didn't even know about. And maybe you did. I don't know, but I hope y'all taking notes because this is good information. And this can save you a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a product junkie like me. Like, I have a lot of products that I'll buy through my journey and then I'm like, oh, that doesn't work, you know? So if you already know what to look for, then you ain't got no problems. The reason why you might not use a product is maybe because you thought you liked the smell and you ended up not liking it anymore, you know? So definitely pay attention to all these tips and tricks because they're super helpful in terms of knowing what products to use for your hair. So pretty much like my conclusion about this, it's important to know your hair and how it reacts to certain products in order to know which products to purchase, like I said, just so you can get the best results. Just because, and I think I said this earlier, just because I had the same hair pattern, like maybe some people are watching and subscribe to my channel and they're like, oh my gosh, Lauren's hair is just like mine, like that's why I follow her, because you know, maybe if I do what she does, like I'll have the same situation. Maybe, but probably not unless we have the same exact situation. I have like medium to fine hair strands. I have medium to low density hair, and I have low porosity hair, and it's not even all over. Like I have a difference between the perimeter and then the rest of my hair. And so like depending on, you know, you can have the same hair pattern. So like you can see this parts of my hair are fine. I don't know if you can actually see that, right? I mean, my hair is stretched, but like this part of my hair, when it's not stretched, it's like 4A. And then this, like the rest of my hair is 4B. So if you're like, okay, Lauren's hair is mostly 4B, let me copy her. But you could have 4B hair, you could have high density, you could have coarse hair. That means that you could have heavy creams. And so if you're using the light creams that I'm using, your hair is gonna look trash, sis. So, you know, that's why I'm just saying, like, you don't just go on your hair pattern because you could leave pretty underwhelmed and pretty upset and, you know, pockets looking empty. So that's pretty much all I have. I know that, you know, you guys could, I don't know if you guys are starting your hair journey for the first time, if you're rebooting it, what have you. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully even if you knew about these topics a little bit already, that maybe you learned something additional, or if you knew everything, if you know something additional that I haven't mentioned, feel free to comment below. Help everyone out, you know, like give them your tips and tricks. I might learn from it too. But I enjoy talking about hair. I love helping people about their hair. So I definitely enjoyed like nerding out and making a whole PowerPoint presentation to talk about today. So if you guys found this helpful, definitely comment below so I know what content you guys are interested in. Don't forget to like this video if you found it super helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to the Simply Curly channel. I've changed my schedule, new videos every week, Thursdays and Sundays. But that's all I have for you, curls. Until next time, peace and love.